We're in some unprecedented times of chaos. When I talk about unprecedented, it's unprecedented. And so today I want to share some insight with y'all on 7 daily habits of emotionally healthy leaders. Number 1, meditate. Now I talk about this all the time. Meditation, 5 minutes, 3 times a week. And here's the thing about meditation. I have my clients do about 20 habits, but if I can get them to meditate for 5 minutes, 3 times a week, meditation is the foundational habit upon which all the other habits are built upon. So if you want to start with anything that you want to master, meditation is going to be it. And so there are plenty of guided meditations on YouTube. You got all of these apps and things like that. But the thing I like about guided meditation for busy people and people who are enraged, let's just call a spade, it's like meditating is just clearing your thoughts. So if you have kids or nieces and nephews, you've seen kids, you can clean a room. You leave them little crumb snatches in the room for about 30 minutes, maybe even 10. Everything is back out on the floor. And you'd be like, man, where did y'all even get this stuff from? And so what meditation does, it allows you to be able to clean up and clear some space in your mind so you can be able to solve some of the challenges that you're going through. And there's a scripture that says, create in me, Lord, a clean heart and renew a right spirit in me. If your heart is your home and your mind is a part of that, are you a hoarder of people, places, things, and experiences? Are you carrying thoughts from yesterday into today? Are you carrying fear from what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next year into this present moment? So meditation is going to allow you to come into the moment and get still about where you are and put some stuff on the shelf so you can be able to solve the problems and see clearly what is your next right move. It's hard to determine where you're going if you don't have the mental capacity to do that. So meditation, getting a little bit of clarity of thought, allowing your mindset and training your mindset to be able to slow down so you can think about where you want to be, who you want to be, and where you want to go. So apparently I need to do a whole segment on meditation. I'll do that in a completely different video. So meditate 5 minutes, 3 times a week. Number 2, work out for 30 minutes, 3 times a week. Now here's the thing. I'm going to give you the 3 easy ones right up front. Meditate 5 minutes, 3 times a week. Work out 30 minutes, 3 times a week. And get sleep 8 hours a night, 3 times a week. Now, here's the thing about busy high achievers. The first 2 habits really take about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. If you're working 60 to 80 hours a week, if you don't have an hour and 40 minutes to take care of yourself, that's a challenge because your body is the most important resource that you have. And are you sacrificing your most important resource, which is your body and your mind, for resources that aren't going to allow you to stay where you want to be? Are you sacrificing your most important resource for money? Are you sacrificing your most important resource for success? Because we've seen successful people pay a heavy price for not taking care of themselves mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So the $20 million in salary raises and small business revenue that I've assisted my clients with getting is because we have to wrestle them down to the ground to get them to take care of themselves. Point blank, period. These habits should be easy, but they are not. The habits are free. You can work out in your house. You can do Taebo on YouTube. I mean, there are a gazillion workouts on YouTube, Amazon, Netflix, all these things. But will you give yourself permission to take care of yourself? And so one of the things that Wallace D. Waddle said in the Science of Getting Rich, he says, never impose your will on another, even if for their own good, for you don't know what is for their good. The proper use of the will is to think and act and direct that energy to yourself to do what you're supposed to do so you can get busy doing the work that you were called to do. So the hardest work that we're called to do is to manage our willpower for ourselves, to take care of ourselves. And if you're a giver, leaders are typically givers. Leaders are typically the people who would give, and be depleted mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, in every area, because we've trained people to be able to rely on us. But what happens when the leader's in trouble? And leaders are in trouble today. So I want to encourage you to do the first 3 things: meditate, work out, get some sleep. Number 4, listen to something positive. You have to listen to something positive with all the negative things that are going on in the world today. Y'all, social media is not safe for human consumption. Social media is not safe for human consumption. I want to be clear. I got off, I think January 10th, came back on like the 25th. I had to delete a couple of apps off my phone. Like every time I get on, because when I read stuff, I get mad because I'm going to react to it because it is egregious. I don't even watch the news, but if I see what's going on in the world, I lose it. And we're going to talk about goal setting and how do you stay clear on your goals as we continue on this journey today. I told you how to grab your notes, but it's like, if you're only focused on inciting rage for yourself and you're looking at negative things, how can you stay focused on your goals? How can you be healthy if you cussing in your head about what happened today? Because every day is going to be something. And so many people have gotten addicted to chaos and have gotten addicted to reacting that they are mentally and physically deteriorating to a point where they are unrecognizable, but they're still blaming other people, but you're sick. Your household is not in order. So I want to encourage you to listen to something positive. That's free. Whether it's a podcast or, I like to listen to the Rampage of Abraham Hicks because I got to listen to something positive every day. I read Napoleon Hill's books, but we listen to something positive. It's that audible thing, and then also reading. So number 5, journal. Get the thoughts out of your head and onto paper. I talked about this with regards to meditation. What do you need to get out of your head onto paper so you can make room for new things? God doesn't always give you what you want. He gives you what you have room for. So do you have room to consider new thoughts and new ideas if you're carrying around all of the old things in your head because you can't put a new wine in old wineskins? So it's like, can you really hear ideas and consider new things and get excited if you're bottled up with things? And even if you're mad, write it out on a journal and then learn how to let go of some of the things that are no longer serving you for your good. And number 7, emotionally healthy leaders take responsibility for how they feel. In these times, and these times have been going on for a long time, I want to be clear. What's just happened is, if we've had a bonfire of experiences, y'all have forgotten the hell that was going on in 2020 and the hysteria that was going on in 2020, because hell is not normal. Hell just gets worse every day. I mean, every day, even going into the nighttime, you'd be like, my God, what is going on in this world? But if you have created these bonfire of experiences, it's just been stacking up. It's just gets taller and taller and taller, and people are literally dying, whether voluntarily, involuntarily. Like, people are dying of preventable medical conditions. People are dying because they're not managing their mental and their physical health. You want to show up as a great leader, but if you're not emotionally healthy, it's not that easy to be a leader. Emotionally healthy leaders take responsibility for how they feel. They don't allow other people to be able to tell them how they should feel based on what's going on in the world. You can't tell me how I should feel. Being mad and angry messes up my money. And I'm not willing to allow that to happen because I got work to do to be able to create and break generational patterns for my family. So if you're always reacting to things, I want to encourage you to take control of your fate. Oh, I forgot number 6. Affirmations. What are affirmations? Affirmations are you telling yourself who you are. Affirmations are you sharing with you who you are and where you're going. Because what Jim Rome said is, if you allow somebody else, if you live by somebody else's plan for you, what do they have planned for you? Not much. For every one negative conversation you have 14 positive ones that you need to be able to negate that one negative conversation or whatever, one negative comment. What are you saying to yourself? And if you're saying to yourself, I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to go broke, I can't stand them, I can't. You need 14 positive things to be able to negotiate that. So I want you to consider having affirmations, hang them up in your mirror. I got affirmations all around my house. But I also have a book here and it's a lot. I'll read y'all a couple of them. And you just say what you want, right? Y'all see, they just go. I got the Monday, Tuesday ones, the Thursday ones. So let's talk about it. Principles. Let everything I do and own convey an image of importance. Be immune to criticism, good and bad. Realize the truth, which is true. I am the greatest at what I do. Nobody does it better. Nobody does it faster. I can't fail at what I'm destined to do. It is impossible. This is what I got this out of Wallace D. Wattles, The Science to Be Rich. But instead of saying man's right, I put woman's right. Woman's right to life means her right to have the free and unrestricted use of all things which may be necessary for her fullest mental, spiritual, and physical unfoldment. In other words, her right to be rich. It is your birthright to be rich. Okay, but you have to say that to yourself and not allow other people to plant negative seeds in you. You have to take control of your thoughts, take control of your mind, take control of your experiences, and don't allow people to plant negative seeds in your field. Tell yourself who you are. So that's number 6. I mean, I can go on, I can read this. Maybe we'll make this a lullaby one day. I want y'all to like really consider normalizing wholeness. Everybody wants to normalize mental health issues. I want you to start to normalize wholeness. Ain't nobody talking about normalizing wholeness. We want people to normalize having high functioning anxiety and high functioning depression. I want you to normalize being happy. Who told you you should be miserable? Who told you that it was okay to live the next 4 years of your life being triggered all day, every day? Like, that is not okay. That is not a desired place to be. So everybody's going to relegate your emotions to the things that are going on in the world when there's so much opportunity out here to be had. From 2019 to 2020, the number of millionaires in the US doubled. When chaos ensued, people got rich. Chaos is now normal. People are getting richer, people are getting poorer. You choose which one you're going to be based on your ability to be able to manage your mindset, to be able to manage your energy, and to be able to manage your ability to see that with God, all things are possible.